Përshvini në këtë pjesë të emisionit Prime Time të ndëruar shqiptarë, të flasim sonte me deputetin në Parlamentin e Ukrainës, zotin Oleksiy Goncharenko, i cili po qëndron për vizitë në Kosovë dhe ka pasur një vizitash të rëndësishme. Welcome to Channel 10, welcome to Kosovo, Mr. Goncharenko.
Faleminderit.
Ska për se, you're welcome. So, how is the idea to come here? You've met Prime Minister and others. You had a speech at the Kosovo Assembly. Why is your interest about Kosovo, actually?
I was invited to come by Haki Abazi, head of International Relations Committee in the Kosovan Parliament. That was an honor for me to speak in the Assembly today. And I met with the President, with Prime Minister, with Speaker of the Parliament. I think that it is very important today to unite free world, and both Ukraine and Kosovo are parts of free world. And we have very common, unfortunately, history, because what you came through 20, 25 years ago, Ukraine is coming through the last 8 years, and especially after February 24. So I think that it is very important to strengthen cooperation between Ukraine and Kosovo. Also, I think that we need to work to prevent Russian malign influence here in this region of Balkans, because Russia wants to use Balkans to have more chaos in the world, to have bloodshed. And that's why we should work not to allow this to happen. So that's why I'm here today. And I think this is important.
Okay, now we'll talk about Kosovo-Ukraine relations, but I just want to ask you what's the latest, what's happening in Ukraine? Because Kiev has been a new target now for Russian aggression.
Yeah, I just left Ukraine 2 days ago. First I came to Brussels, and from Brussels here, so sure, and like when my family is in Odessa, and I'm very much every moment in the connection and know situation. So in general, situation is like this. Ukraine is in offensive. We're liberating every day our towns, villages, and altogether during last 2 months we liberated hundreds of our towns, villages, and that is very good. But Russia is using terrorist tactics against Ukrainian people, attacking by drones, by missiles, of civilian objects and energy objects, energy infrastructure. And that is a very big concern for us, because Putin can't do anything with the Ukrainian army, and he tries to take revenge on Ukrainian women and children, making them suffer. And sure, this is a huge challenge for us, and that is a big problem, but we will do our best to cope with it, with the help of free world.
And you're constantly asking for more help, for more arms, for more weapons, especially air defense, right, to be sent to Ukraine, because we've seen that Russia used Iranian drones in one of the latest attacks.
No, in many attacks. They're using extensively Iranian drones. For the moment, up to 500 drones were already used against Ukraine. Iranian kamikaze drones.
Now, how long this will last, you think? Are you afraid that Putin might use nuclear power, as he's been threatening a lot of times?
Two different questions, and very important questions. How long will it last? Nobody knows. I don't want to be, you know, Cassandra or Nostradamus. I'm not. I don't know. It can last maybe 2 months more, and maybe 6 months more, and maybe 12 months more. I can't tell you. What I can tell you that we will win. The result of this war is clear, but how long will it last, it's not clear. It depends from the weaponry we will receive, it depends from the situation inside Russia, it depends from many, even from how severe will be this winter, very cold or not. Even from this it depends. So it's too many factors, it's hard to predict. Your second question about nuclear weaponry and can Putin go nukes. I can tell you that, unfortunately, I can't answer you that it is absolutely impossible, because what I want to tell you, that is a madness, it's absolutely impossible. But unfortunately, I can't answer this way. And it is unlikely that we will go in this scenario. But it is, unfortunately, there is some possibility of this. And on every possible crossroad, Putin is choosing the worst possible track. If he will continue to go this way, finally he will be desperate. And at this moment, that is the question, what will prevent him to go to nukes? I see two ways. First is a diplomacy. And diplomatically, it's not about free world, but it's about China, India, and other countries, global south countries like they're called, who should give him clear signal. That is a red line. After this, we will have no connections with you at all. So you will be complete pariah. It's important, but it's not enough. So the second way is a militarily way. So the West should tell to Putin that if you will do it, that will be a suicide for you. And we will use weaponry to destroy Russian army, for example, on territory of Ukraine, using conventional weaponry, not nuclear, but conventional weaponry. And NATO is absolutely possible to do this, to destroy all Russian army on the territory of Ukraine by missiles, by fighters, by navy. And these two messages should be together to prevent him to even think about it.
Okay. What was, after your meetings today, what is the sense you get from the support that Kosovo is giving to Ukraine?
I feel full support on the all levels in the parliament, president, prime minister, and it's very important. And people, I was just coming through the streets of Pristina, and many people, maybe they see the sign of Ukraine colors, maybe they saw me somewhere, but they recognize me and they speak with me and they're saying Slava Ukraini and they're saying support. It's so touching. I just want to say Filimendera to all people for doing this. And so I feel this big support from Kosovan people.
And you presented a bill at the Ukrainian parliament for your country to recognize Kosovo. Has anything happened after you?
Yeah, I sponsored this bill on August 5. For the moment, there is no still decision in the Committee of International Affairs of Ukrainian Parliament on my bill. There was a big discussion, quite big discussion, after I sponsored my bill. And I can tell you that this was good discussion, because I see that the mood, the attitude towards the recognition of Kosovo is changing in Ukraine, is changing to better way. So. But it will not happen now, probably. I think that it will happen immediately after the war will be finished, because like many people are saying, let us finish the war, it's the most important thing.
Of course.
Because like, yeah, Kosovo announced their independence in 2008, it was 14 years ago, we can wait some months more to make this decision during a peacetime. But me personally, if it will be just my decision, I would do it right now. Because I think that it is the time. It is the time for us to show leadership, to stop these, what will Serbia think, or what will others think, or maybe somebody will use it against us. I think that we should stick to values, and values of democracy, human rights, rule of law. They're clearly saying to us, the Kosovan people fought for their independence, and they deserve it. And we need to acknowledge it, recognize, and to work together, to be good allies.
But is the Ukrainian government aware of the support that comes from, or this will your visit, I think, will help a lot, right?
Yeah.
In order for you to go back to tell your fellow MPs and political parties on what you actually saw here of the big support that Kosovo does.
Absolutely. I think that more should be said to Ukrainian people about support from Kosovo. And we created, I want to inform you, that we created in Ukrainian parliament for the first time caucus Friends of Kosovo. And I have an honor to be a chair of this caucus. And but this is from different parties. It is bipartisan. I have co-chair from ruling party, Evgenia Kravchuk, and so one of our aims is to inform Ukrainian people about Kosovo, about your position, about your support to Ukraine. So we will continue to do this. And yes, I think this visit was one of the steps towards this.
And it also helps that we have some 11 Ukrainian journalists here in Kosovo who are actually reporting from here, and they show to the Ukrainian public the support that Kosovo gives. They are part here, as you know, of a financed project from Kosovo government to shelter them, and the decision was taken just 48 hours after the invasion started. Do you think that this what do you think, first of all, of this project, that Kosovo is actually the only country in Europe that shelters Ukrainian journalists?
Yeah. First of all, I would like to say Filimendere, because this is important. Secondly, it is really important because in this war, this is a war of 21st century. Informational part is extremely important. So you are also fighting in this war, like journalists, and our journalists especially. So that is also why I appreciate very much this initiative. And thirdly, I would like to say personal thanks to you, because you are running this project, you are working with our journalists, and that is very important. And I think that was a very wise decision of Kosovan government to make such program. This is one of your inputs, and your contributions. So thank you for this.
We're very happy to have them here, actually. And what do you think about Serbia's stance? You know our relations with Serbia. They didn't put any sanctions against Russia. They are not aligning with EU's foreign policy, as all the other countries are doing.
Absolutely. I mean, countries like Serbia, there are several of them, but Serbia is a big example, because on one hand, they are saying we want to be part of European Union. On the other hand, they're saying we want to be ally of Russia. Guys, it doesn't work like this. You cannot be on both tracks. You cannot sit on two chairs. You should choose. Either you are with the free world, or you are with Putin. And there is nothing in between. It's impossible. So what Serbia is doing is they are copying Russian narratives. When I've heard in the end of July, one of MPs from ruling party of Serbia, of President Vučić, who said that Balkans should be denazified, that's exactly the wording which we heard in Ukraine before Russian invasion started. And I want to tell you, only Nazis can say things like this, real Nazis. So Ukraine is not Nazi at all, like Kosovo is not, and other countries. So it is very dangerous wording, very dangerous, and we could not ignore it. Just, okay, no, they are just saying something for internal public. No, it shouldn't be tolerated, things like this. So I think that Serbia should decide. I think that Serbian politicians, they're also doing very bad job for Serbian people, because I don't think that really Serbian people, if they will think they want to be part of Russia and Iran axis, you know, I think that they want to be part of Europe. But with this strange story, we want to be on both chairs, it will not work. So I am absolutely clear about this. I'm saying it clearly. Serbian president was personally unhappy with what I said. Serbian ministers were like saying in tweets that call me Nazi, fascist, and so on, because of my position on Serbia, on Kosovo, but I don't care about it, absolutely, because I will say truth. Because Ukraine is in the situation when there is no these half tones. Maybe yes, maybe not. There is white, there is black, there is good, there is evil. Either you are on the side of good, if not, you are with evil. That is your choice, but you will pay for this choice.
And at the end, you had this speech which was very popular in Council of Europe, in which you said that Council of Europe should accept Kosovo.
Absolutely, I believe in this. I am, as a member of the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe, as Vice President of Committee on Migration and Refugees, as member of Bureau of European Conservative Group, I can tell you that I support Kosovo being a member of Council of Europe. I will do everything I can to support it. I believe this will happen soon. I believe that Kosovo ešte Evrope. I believe that Kosovo, Ukraine, jam Europe. I believe in this, and I'm sure this will happen.
We'll see. Thank you for being my guest, and thank you for coming to Kosovo.
Faleminderit.
Faleminderit. Ka qenë kjo biseda me deputetin Ukrainas Oleksiy